I've always heard people refer to themselves as natural leaders. Without giving it much thought, I would just assume that some people were born with it and some people didn't have that characteristic. I just assumed I didn't possess it. I've never been the most outspoken person, and in some situations, I even come across super shy. So I thought that I wasn't just one of those natural born leaders, one of those people who just claim the room. I've learned that doesn't mean I'm any less of a leader than those outspoken people, those people that claim the attention of everyone. When declaring this minor, I just wondered how they could make a whole minor about leadership and what it would entail. But I've realized that you can learn leadership, and from this minor, I have learned to be a leader. I didn't have a lot of time to do on campus activities and do sororities and get leadership positions that way. But I did find ways to get leadership experience in unexpected places. About 3.5 years ago, I started working at a restaurant called Salt Life. And I started, well, when I went to my interview, they weren't hiring. They didn't have any open positions that I qualified for, as I had never served or bartended before. But after talking with the manager for a minute, he realized that I could bring a lot to the table, and he actually made a position for me. And I was the first server assistant. And after a few months, he realized that although I didn't have serving experience, that I would be a good server because I treated others as equals, and he saw the leadership in me, what the book called responsible leadership, where I would treat others as my equals even though they weren't. I would pick up busing shifts or hosting shifts, although I hadn't been trained for that, and those are positions that got paid less than me. And after seeing my commitment, he decided that I could be trained to be a server, although I didn't have experience. My manager recognized the adaptive leadership in me and how I would adjust to whatever the circumstances were, and that I could be very useful because I was willing to work in very different positions and didn't complain about it. I just thought of the restaurant as a whole and as a group and a team, and I just wanted to get done what needed to be done and give the best service possible. If that meant hosting or bussing tables or server assistant, or even once I got moved up to serving, I did those things just because we are a team. And as I continued to work there, I continued to get promotions because he did see these qualities in me, although I'm not the loudest or the most outspoken, or I might not boss people around. That doesn't mean I'm not a leader. He eventually moved me up to a head server position, we call a checkout server, where I get the responsibility of dealing with all of the money that goes in and out of the restaurant, the tip shares, what people make, closing up the office, get a bigger section. I'm allowed to check people out. They can't leave the restaurant without my permission, stuff like that. And after doing that for a little bit, he decided that he wanted me to be completely rounded as an asset to the restaurant. So he has promoted me again to bartender, one of the first bartenders to be trained as a checkout as well. So that way, if I need to close the restaurant on my own, I can. And this means a lot to me, as although it is just a restaurant job and I'm about to graduate college and a lot of people work in restaurants, it is a good feeling to see that someone else has recognized that in you when you aren't the loudest server or the one that's bossing people around all the time or the most qualified. I haven't had bartending experience. I haven't had head staff, waiter staff experience before. The only on-campus activity I ended up getting involved in while during my time at UNF was with the UNF Surf Team and Club. Just because I was friends with a lot of them, I was already going to a lot of their events, but I was recognizing how much potential there was and how unorganized it was. It's a group of boys mostly, and all of the positions in the club were held by boys who just wanted to serve. They didn't care about doing the work to get the sponsorships and stuff like that. and organizing events to raise money. When it came down to it, they were just like, where are we going to get money to do these things? But they didn't want to put in the effort. They just wanted to serve. And that's what they were there for, so that's understandable. But I just saw an opportunity in that, and I decided to apply for the manager and event planning positions for the team and club. And I got it. And I've been doing that now for 3 years. And for anyone who is a part of the surf team or has recognized that knows that the team and club has come a long way the past few years with sponsorships and such. And I decided to go out on a limb and try to get a sponsorship myself for the club. So I brought it up to my manager, my general manager at Salt Lake, and I mentioned the club and what they do and how well the team had been doing the past couple years at nationals, and how a lot of students are coming to the area for the surf team now, and how we're the best on the East Coast. And he was interested in the partnership, as he's always looking for ways to bring people in and get the awareness of the restaurant out and draw new customers and clientele in. So he told me that although he liked the idea, it was not his say-so to give out money, and that I should speak to the owner. So I reached out to him, set up a meeting, sat down with him, and explained the benefits of partnering with the surf team, having all the awareness of the Salt Life stickers on their boards, being able to hold events at Salt Life would be beneficial for both us and them, and how overall it would be a great way to bring in the college clientele that they've been looking for. And after some back and forth, he decided that it was a great idea and that he did want to sponsor us. And the sponsorship has held strong for over 2 years now. And the Salt Life helps the surf team with many things, paying for trips, paying to get to competitions, sponsoring boards, shirts, flags, all sorts of things. We hold monthly events at Salt Life, which is beneficial for both parts of my life.